Hey everybody, this is TJ Watkins. Welcome to day 75. We are heading the main straight in this program, in this self-discovery program. We are 14 days on before it finishes. So let's get off and running. Today our topic is going to be the gift is to love. And many of us think that the gift is to be loved. No, the gift is to love. Your ability to love another living creature, whether it's a pet or another human being, is our greatest gift. Why is that so? Because in order to truly love something, you gotta step into that space where you have to be exceptionally vulnerable. And it will move you to a sensitivity that you do not generally want to show. And this is how it plays out. And I've noticed this a lot more with pets and babies than with actual human beings. Okay? When we see a baby, do we suddenly go into a baby voice? Hey, sweetie, baby, you know, all that. And when I talk to my bunny, my pets, it's always in a loving voice. It's always with this caring vulnerability. And you don't care where you are. The other day we were at the vet and I'm sitting on the floor with this dog talking in a baby voice in front of the vet. And for a moment I felt silly, but I didn't care. That's what I'm talking about. You love this dog, this pet so much that it can draw a vulnerability draw you out into a vulnerable space. And in the vulnerable space, all the magic happens in every relationship. It is the avoidance of this vulnerability that screws us up, that puts us in psychic spins, mind storms, that makes everything painful and unbearable. And the test is, when you choose to love anything, another person, another human being, the test is always going to be, how vulnerable can you get? The relationship's limit will be set by your vulnerability, not by your emotionality. You can be very emotional, but not vulnerable. Now listen to that. Listen to this distinction. To be emotional, you can just play act out of pain. And I've done it. You've done it. But to truly be vulnerable, to speak from that space, where if they knew this vulnerability, they could use it against you and it could crush you. But to do it anyway. The choice to love will always break you. The choice to love anything will always break you open. And if you are not willing to go there, open to be there, then I'm going to quote Khalil Gibran, because he says it best in words. He quote in the Prophet, he says, to allow love to grind you to whiteness. It's always been my favorite phrase. So you may laugh. And it was quoted to say, when you choose not to love at this level, that you will laugh but not with all of your laughter. And you will cry, but not with all of your tears. And I don't know how many of you watching have had the experience of withholding. I can remember going to many funerals in Africa with my father, who was cowboys don't cry kind of guy. And I would watch him and he would be emotional, but he would not show that emotion. never show an emotion. And when I tried it, it didn't work so well for me. I was a more sensitive dude than that. But the times I was successful, those are the times that I regretted. To not cry at the funeral at full blast, to let all of it out, than to sit with it and miss an opportunity for truly emotionally experiencing a full experience in this life. The choice to love is exactly that. It is a choice. And the choice is actually bigger than that. Because the choice is to choose the love-based aspect of you, which is vulnerable, which is sensitive, which is kind, compassionate, loving, and has a reverence for life, and wants to see the greatest, not just for you, but for everybody around you. That's a choice. That's fundamental. But the choice, the default choice, is always going to be fear. To look at me and say, no, I'm not going to put myself out there. I'm not going to put myself at risk. Well, they just better deal with it. And it's always with these hands, because you're afraid. So you keep things away from you. And I'm saying, if you really truly want to experience this life, you may have to go defenseless and put your hands next to you and take the hits. Because ultimately, nothing can hurt you at a spiritual level. It can hurt on a physical level, on an emotional level, but not at that fundamental level. But to live that, our pets will have to have us practice this for now. The babies will have us practice this for now, to break through our own little barriers. It has happened to me. I'm sure it has happened to you. Go have fun with this weekend and get ready for the next 14, 15 days of blasting through this in a fun way. Until I see you again, have a fantastic weekend and day. Cheers.